Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. Today we are going to be installing a yard drain. People call it a French drain, yard drain. And what we're doing is we are picking up all the water that comes down this hill through that retaining wall, and it just pools up right here. And we're going to trench starting over there at the patio, catch basin. Line comes around, turns, and goes all the way out to the street. We'll pick up the downspouts. Over here where they've thrown some gravel, we will put the French drain. We're going to use the easy flow and perforated pipe surrounded by gravel. Comes down, turns, it'll tee into the line here and continue on out to the street. A great project for the do-it-yourselfer. You could do it by hand. We're going to run a trencher. Remember that when you run a trencher, or even if you don't run a trencher, make sure that you get your utilities located. You see here's the gas line right here, yellow marking. You can see here's the electric line, here's the meter. That gas line comes across, and you can see here's the gas meter over here too. But here's the water. You can see when it rains, it's just been flooding right up into the little patio up towards their house. And also back in here, you can see the crack across the patio. That is caused from water. That's all water damage. So a real good project to help save lots of money in the future. So let's go ahead and get started.
This is a great project for the do-it-yourselfer. Truly, you can save maybe $5,000–6,000 if you did this yourself. And you can rent that trencher from any good tool rental, Home Depot, Sunbelt, and it will only take you a few hours.
Okay, so we've got the main trench dug out. Trencher makes pretty quick work of that. Still took, about 20 minutes to dig all the way down through here. And the reason you see a gap between the trenches is right over here is a water line, and this is unmarked. Although they have a blue marking for the city line, which is running, down through there, they do not mark the homeowner's line. However, you can see that excessive green. That kind of helps us. We know that line's coming across here somewhere. So we had to hand dig, from here to where I have the trencher. You can see the nice clean trench as it runs all the way out and where we'll put the pop-up. So we're going to connect. You can see all the water that's pooled up along this retaining wall. And we're going to put our perforated pipe, people call it the French drain, with a couple of catch basins in here. Bring that over. It'll tie into this line. We're also going to pick up the downspout right here, bring that over. We'll pick up this back downspout as well, right here. And a small area of trenching across the gas line and the electric line to where I started to trench this morning. And we'll put a catch basin back there. So again, a pretty straightforward job. Something the homeowner could easily do themselves. Save yourself a couple thousand really quick.
Sometimes you will find obstacles underground that are really tough. This is a huge piece of quartz, a giant stone, and we had to use a hammer drill. You could use a pick or a pry bar to get through this.
A lot of noise out here. This is actually quartz and pretty hard stuff, but hammer drill's getting through it, so we'll keep working.
Okay, so you can see we released that water that was back there by the back porch, and it's just flowing great right down through our trench. It'll come on out, and Chuck just opened up the water from over here, and you can see it just flowing really nice, coming around all the way out. It's perfect.
Okay,
all the
so
way out.
we've got our pipe pretty much installed. We're going to come right out here to the end, and we'll cut that off, and we'll put a pop-up right there by the driveway. But we've got all the line installed. Now we are getting ready to backfill, but first we need to put some gravel on top of our perforated pipe. And even though we use that easy flow, which I really like, we just use 10 feet of it. So you can see we've put perforated pipe here with our catch basins. We've surrounded that with gravel, and we're just going to put a little bit of gravel right there at the beginning of that line. Here we've got the downspout connected, comes in a T there. Line comes all the way back to the back. Connected this downspout, a T. Had to go through that rock right here. Remember that rock? Comes over, catch basin, gravel perforated pipe, right to the beginning of the line where we have another catch basin surrounded by gravel, and that'll pick up all this water that's been flooding, off of the patio. But remember how the system works. You got a catch basin that picks up immediate surface water runoff. So as it comes, down that hill, any water that's pooling in the yard will drop into your catch basins. The gravel perforated pipe picks up subsurface water, so water that's remaining in the yard that seeps down, that water will rise back up and go into your system and then flow all the way out to the street. When you use the easy flow, remember that's styrofoam peanuts. So, it's encased in fabric, so you can easily just cover that right back up. I really like the easy flow. Remember that 10 feet of it is about $55. So it's very expensive. $5 a foot for material is just, it's outrageous, but it does work really good. Gravel perforated pipe, it's less than, I don't know, $1 a foot, if that, probably 70 cents a foot. So a lot cheaper to run gravel perforated pipe. Anyways, we have our system installed, and now we're getting ready to backfill and cover. I'm going to make a cable TV repair back here, and we'll call AT&T or whoever it is, let them make a permanent repair. So at the end of the line, we put a pop-up. If you remember, this is a pop-up emitter. As water comes down the line, it just lifts up that little lid and disperses. Of course, it's going to come out here on the driveway and go on out into the street. So now we're ready to backfill the last little section of this line, move some soil around back, and we're done. So we picked up, all that roof from the garage side, front and back. And there's also a porch back there that we picked up all that water. That's a lot of water that comes off of that roof. And it's been flooding, back in their backyard. Plus all the water coming from the hill. They have a retaining wall, but it didn't do much to, really slow the water. So now they've got a great system installed and should last for years and years. Okay, so we've got this installed, covered up, backfilled. Remember, that's your trench. Your excess soil is going to settle. This was pretty deep. This was about knee deep down through here. So this is really going to settle down through here. And when you're digging when it's wet, you're going to have some clumpy soil. Don't worry about it. It still settles. You can see we've got a catch basin there, a catch basin there. Remember, we've got gravel perforated pipe underneath of here. Another catch basin. The line continues around all the way, hooked up the downspouts. Took some of our excess and graded this off so that it comes into the trench. This is all gravel perforated pipe down through here, so that water should drop right into the system. And hopefully this takes care of the water that's been flooding into this patio area. When it rains, I saw this and it's just underwater, so now the water has a place to go. Should be able to take care of that pretty well. So a job you can do yourself. Expect to be a little sweaty, but all really a good day's work. Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains, reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day.